Some mornings, there's a little monster in all of us.
Morning, Fred.
And until that first cup of coffee, we can all be pretty beastly.
Morning, Fred.
That's when your 7-Eleven store can be a lifesaver.
Good morning, Fred.
With a good cup of fresh brewed hot coffee to perk up your morning. 7-Eleven coffee brings out the best, not the beast in you.
Hey, Ralph.
I do pray you're all well, navigating the madness. But I got an unction to share this with you, as a subscriber shared this article with me, November 17th, 2020, telling us that Israel may see 7-11 pretty soon. Now, the way I saw this is the 7-11 immediately made me think of Genesis 7:11, where which the judgment of God was unleashed upon the earth in the form of a flood, and judgment was brought upon the earth. 7-11, judgment may be on its way to Israel. Oh, it is. But a remnant will be saved. Reports say popular 24/7 convenience store in advanced talks with Israel's Fox Group? Fox 666? And, I mean, we could go into so many different aspects of this. It's crazy, man. But this is definitely telegraphing something. To release this on November 17th from Israel's Fox Group, right? Now get a load of this, because it doesn't stop there. The Texas-based 7-Eleven, which operates some 71,000 stores in 17 countries. Now, think about that. If you research the number 17 in regards to the Kabbalah and Freemasonry and the occult mystery religions, you'll find the 17 is a very big number. On top of that is, if you add the 71 and the 17, which are mirror, you get the 88, which equates us directly back to Trump, or the tribute in light on 9/11, the 88 beams of light.
Because I was down there, down on 7-Eleven, down at the World Trade Center, right after it came down.
This is very interesting. And the 17, biblically speaking, is victory. It is a number of victory. It is also the triangular number of the 153, the 153 fish. Okay? But they're famous for being open 24/7, 7 days a week, and giving out free Slurpees every 7-Eleven.
Today's date is 7/11, so that means 7-Eleven is celebrating its 92nd birthday.
Customers across the nation can enjoy a free small Slurpee drink today from 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. while supplies last. No coupon or purchase is necessary. You can just show up and grab your favorite flavor.
And it goes on, but it was just put upon me to share this with you. There's no accident here. They didn't come out with this by accident. On the same day that Obama is releasing his new book, A Promised Land, on the 322nd day of the year, which is also 46 weeks, Obama, Psalm 46, 9/11, 2011.
Be still and know that I am God. I will be exalted among the nations. I will be exalted in the earth. The Lord of hosts is with us. The God of Jacob is our refuge.
7-Eleven in Israel, Trump 88, Trump 7-Eleven back in 2016.
Because I was down there, down on 7-Eleven, down at the World Trade Center, right after it came down.
He was down there at 7-Eleven. The judgment card, the Trump card. You understand? The judgment is coming, and this false light that's being brought forth in this world.
Somebody said to me the other day, "You're the most famous person in the world by far." I said, "No, I'm not. No, I'm not." They said, "Yes, you are." I said, "No." They said, "Who's more famous?" I said, "Jesus Christ." I'm not taking any chances. I'm not going to have an argument. Hey, I'm not having any arguments. Jesus Christ. I'm not going to take any chances. I'll give it, I guarantee. And let me look up and I'll say, and it's not even close.
Is going to produce its own form of judgment, and they're going to fool a lot of people that they will absolutely ensnare you. This is all to do with the genes, the DNA, how God sees us. That's why the devil wants to corrupt our genetic makeup. I mean, it literally is his last-ditch effort. The serpent, the viper, which is exactly the model used to implement this DNA third strand through this microneedle patch that will be offered to the world at some point in the not-so-distant future. If you willingly acquiesce to the evil this world is pushing, then you might as well say goodbye to your free will and your very soul. Think about this. Warp speed. Okay, they're using a software, an AI software called Tiberius to track this vaccine rollout. And it's a program by the company Palantir, which is just crazy if you look into that. But Tiberius is the name of this tracking program.
What do you think is the weakest link in the distribution chain?
And we have to ensure that everybody understands the allocations they're going to get, understand the cadence of which allocations are going to come at them. Then we need them to connect in Tiberius and tell us where they want us to put the vaccine.
Where you're allocating, and it color codes the map in counties and cities by how many doses that you've allocated.
Tiberius is a proprietary software program created for Operation Warp Speed.
You can turn on where your hospitals are, where your pharmacies, your nursing homes, and where all of your enrolled providers are inside.
It's supposed to link together different databases to allow Perna to track the vaccine every step of the way from manufacture to inoculation.
He was the emperor during the time of Jesus Christ. Essentially, you could put him as responsible for his crucifixion. And he was the emperor, known as the God, for 23 years. Tiberius, Pilate's boss, right? Now think about this. Warp speed, that comes straight from Star Trek. And what was the captain's name in Star Trek? James Tiberius Kirk. This vaccine is the blockchains of everlasting darkness.
You knew damn well I was a snake before you took me in.
Think about this, Genesis 6, when it talks about how men were corrupt and there was nothing but violence, and God had to bring judgment. But he chose Noah, Genesis 6:9. Noah was perfect in his genes, his generations. Why was the flood brought upon the earth? Because of the corruption of the flesh, of the DNA, of the geno, which is the word nation. This is what they're all about, man. And then on the same day, Musk's dragon docks with the ISS, which is literally 9/11 in numerology. This all connects back to the 9/11 again. This is still an ongoing ritual. It's the mother lode that they're building towards here, but they can do nothing until God allows it. So now is the day of salvation. You understand? Call on the name of Jesus if you do not know him with a sincere, humble heart, knowing that you cannot save yourself out of any of this. He did it all. You understand?
Deepavali, the festival of light, arrived a bit early this year for the residents of Tulsindrapuram village in Thiruvallur district following Kamala Harris winning the US Vice President race. From the morning of November 8th, the village was rocked by the sound of bursting crackers. Sweets were also distributed to the public in the village. Some of the villagers also held placards with the photos of Kamala Harris. Couple of days ago, villagers had held prayers for Kamala Harris, and now they believe that their prayers to the village deity were answered now.
Namaste and happy Diwali, everybody. All over the world, millions of lamps are once again being lit as the spectacular, joyful festival of Diwali is here to burst through the autumnal darkness. And of course, I know that this year, as with so many other events, Diwali is not going to be the same. People across this country are making huge sacrifices. Your lives have been put on hold. I know your work and businesses have been disrupted, and all of us, and most particularly those of us living in the higher alert level areas, are enduring restrictions, the like of which none of us have seen in our lives. And so, while I know it's disappointing that many Diwali celebrations can't go ahead in the usual way, and getting together with friends and family is not always going to be possible, this year, perhaps more than any other, Diwali holds a potent meaning for all of us. Because just as surely as Lord Rama defeated the demon king Ravana and brought his wife Sita home, and just as Diwali celebrates the victory of light over darkness, good over evil, knowledge over ignorance, so too I have every confidence that we shall triumph over COVID-19. And as we all pull together and play our part in defeating this virus, I'm filled with awe and respect for the way British Hindus, Sikhs and Jains have risen to this challenge and have gone out of their way to help others, from the amazing doctors and nurses on the front line who've cared for the sick throughout this crisis, to the temples that have used their kitchens to feed the vulnerable and support our key workers, and the heroes in every community who have carried out acts of kindness to support friends, family and neighbours. So this Diwali, as we remember the mantra to wash our hands, wear a face covering and keep our distance from anyone we don't live with, let's all take comfort from the meaning at the heart of this fantastic festival, and let the many millions of Diwali lights all over the world shine through the darkness as beacons of hope for a better future. Shubh Diwali, everyone. Once again, I wish you a happy Diwali and a healthy and prosperous new year.
Happy Diwali. Today, Hindu, Sikh, Jain and Buddhist communities celebrate the Festival of Lights. Je sais que les célébrations seront un peu différentes cette année à cause de la pandémie mondiale de COVID-19, mais vous pouvez toujours célébrer avec votre famille et vos amis virtuellement pour allumer les diyas. At the heart of this festival is the idea that light, good, and knowledge will always triumph over darkness, evil, and ignorance. And as we continue to deal with the impacts of the pandemic, this message couldn't be more important. For all of us, Diwali is an opportunity to recognize the contributions that your communities make to our country every single day. I want to take a moment to thank everyone working on the front lines in healthcare, our essential services, and the local organizations that have been there for us. My friends, Diwali is also a time for sweets and snacks. So why not take this opportunity to support your local mithai or samosa shop and the small businesses in your neighborhood during this special occasion. Also, please remember to follow your local public health guidelines so that we can continue to keep our communities safe. Ensemble, on continuera de bâtir un Canada plus juste, plus sûr et plus inclusif pour tous. On behalf of our family, Sophie and I wish everyone celebrating a happy Diwali.
Well, Kamala means pale red in lotus. Now also, Kamala's name is an epithet of the goddess Lakshmi, and that is another form of Durga and Kali.
President Trump, who attended Fordham, a Jesuit university, came face to face today with the first Jesuit pope.
Hey everyone, this is Mike with On Point Preparedness. Today, I have to share with you an incredible prophetic message that I believe was revealed directly to me by the Father. In this video, I will not only share with you the prophetic event that happened between Pope Francis and Donald Trump's May 24th meeting, but how God revealed its significant importance to me. As I write the words to this video, I am still marveling at the circumstances which led me to decipher this event. Many of you who have followed my works for the past year clearly understand that the prophetic chapters of the Bible irrefutably attribute the term Mystery Babylon to an anti-church of the end times, and that this church or false religion is led by the Vatican. It also states that there is a second beast, the beast of the earth, who subdues the world into worshiping the beast system, and that beast of the earth is the United States of America. If you are in disagreement with these concepts, or they are completely foreign to you, I have placed some of my most pivotal YouTube videos on this subject in the YouTube description box for your convenience. Ever since the events of September 23, 2015, where these two beasts came together for a historic event in which Pope Francis spoke to a joint session of Congress, I have followed the relationship of these entities in detail. Therefore, when Donald Trump took office, I took the position that Donald Trump was not a Christian savior appointed by the Lord, but the new head of the beast of the earth.
But have you ever asked God for forgiveness? I'm not sure I have. I just go and try and do a better job from there. I don't think so. I think if I do something wrong, I think I just try and make it right. I don't bring God into that picture. I don't. Now, when I take, when we go in church and when I drink my little wine, which is about the only wine I drink, and have my little cracker, I guess that's a form of asking for forgiveness. And I do that as often as possible because I feel cleansed, okay?
I stated on record in January 2017 that he and Pope Francis would come together, despite opposition from the mainstream media and many of my subscribers, who stated that the two were so diametrically opposed that they would not meet. And so here we are on May 24th, 2017, where these two leaders have come together seeking common goals, that is, the unification of religions in the spirit of peace, solidarity, and combating extremism. All in all, their meeting lasted less than an hour, and on its surface, there was some symbolism that I had anticipated. That is, Trump and his family would submit to Pope Francis. Sure enough, they did so as Melania, Ivanka, and their aide all wore black veils and black dresses, which is a common practice of submission or respect amongst formal female visitors to the Vatican. This is in stark contrast to the fact that none of these women, or any of the women in the Trump entourage, wore any head covering at all during their visit to Saudi Arabia. However, the symbolism goes much, much deeper than this, and it is in regards to the gift that Donald Trump presented to Pope Francis. So what is this gift and what prophetic significance does it have? That one of the gifts that Donald Trump presented to Pope Francis was a bronze sculpture. So what is the important symbolism? The lotus is one of the most occult and ancient symbols of the natural world. And the fact that Donald Trump chose this sculpture, which was entitled Rising Above, is of grave concern. The lotus is the flower sacred to the Aryan Hindus, Egyptians, Buddhists, and more. References to it are found in the Egyptian Book of the Dead, the Jewish mystic religion of Kabbalism, and several other pagan religion texts and sculptures. For the occult, it represents the divine rebirth unto enlightenment, an abstract concept that is brought to life in the concrete or visible form of a lotus. It is, in essence, the same symbolism as the enlightenment of the all-seeing third eye. To name a few examples of its prevalence, you can see this in the occult film I, Pet Goat 2, where a lotus flower is seen blooming at the heels of then President Obama. His face grows stark as he witnesses the reality of this transformative stage of enlightenment. In Egypt, you can see here the 4 sons of Horus being birthed out of the lotus flower. In Buddhism, Buddha is frequently attributed to holding the lotus, and the list goes on and on. The reason why the occult reveres this flower and its symbolism of rebirth unto enlightenment is best described by Helena P. Blavatsky, who is the co-founder of the Theosophical Society, and she writes specifically on the lotus flower. For reference, the Theosophical Society shares ideology and partnership with the Lucis Trust, an organization that directly worships Lucifer and states that he is a misrepresented angel that sacrificed himself for the good of mankind. In her book, The Secret Doctrine, she references a passage from the Kabbalistic manuscripts, which states, pointing to like signification was the lotus growing in the waters of the Nile. Its mode of growth peculiarly fitted it as a symbol of reproductive activities. The flower of the lotus, which is the bearer of the seed for reproduction, as the result of its maturing, is connected by its placenta-like attachment with Mother Earth, or the womb of Isis, through the water of the womb, that is, the river Nile, by means of the long cord-like stalk, the umbilicus. Nothing can be plainer than the symbol, and to make it perfect in its intended signification, a child is sometimes represented as seated in or issuing from the flower. So you can now see how the occult viewed the flower as a symbol of rebirth as a child, or this rebirth into enlightenment, represented by a child coming out of the flower head. The Kabbalistic manuscript continues with the sexual and reproductive symbolism of the lotus. It states the locality of the womb is to be taken as the most holy place, the sanctum sanctorum, and the veritable temple of the living God. This falls in line with all occult practices as they practice sex magic and literally worship the female body. She also makes note of the lotus from the ancient Egyptian ritual Book of the Dead, which has a section entitled Transformation into the Lotus. It states, a head emerging from this flower, the god exclaims, I am the pure lotus, emerging from the luminous one. I carry the message of Horus. I am the pure lotus which comes from the solar fields. So, I believe that the Antichrist spirit was definitely at work in this meeting. Any multitude of gifts could have been given to Pope Francis. Books, medallions, sentimental items, other pieces of art, etc. But out of these multitudes, Donald Trump chose the lotus. As the Egyptian Book of the Dead states, is Donald affirming that he carries the message or gift of Horus, an enlightened message essentially from Lucifer.
by HTC. It's not an upgrade to your phone, it's an upgrade to yourself.
We will soon be facing the greatest threat mankind has ever known, as we are feeding and nurturing the monster of our own destruction.
On the left, you see the double duplex helix DNA. Every man and woman born the correct way has double helix DNA. That includes 44 base pairs, or 44 autosomes, what you call them. The 45th and 46 are an X and a Y, which determine the sex of a human being. So that the makeup of a human being now is 46 chromosomes total, but base pairs is what we're dealing with. On the right is what they're trying to do, the elite are trying to do, is develop and add another 22 strands of nanotechnology to the double helix to form a triple helix, to be controlled right through the middle of that double helix DNA. They want to add that. So also, to get to 666, you have to calculate it and count it. Every scripture revolving around the mark of the beast has to be calculated, has to be counted, and it says, let the reader understand. So it's not going to be just a 666 stamp on a t-shirt somewhere or on an RFID chip. It's way deeper than that. Of what I'm talking and what I'm showing you is you have to calculate. So 322. And I've told you how the elites do math. They look at things differently. They're taught things differently with numbers, symbols, all of that. 322. 3 times 22 is 66. 6 times 6, 36. 3 sixes, 36. 3 6. 666. That's it. You have to calculate it. You have to count it. And this is the abomination that's put in the temple. Once you figure out where the temple is, it's not a building over in Israel. God does not dwell in a physical building. That is scriptural, Christians, or anybody. If you understand that about the Creator, we are the temple. And once you understand what the enemy is up to and they're after, then it all comes together of why the chemtrails in the sky, why genetically modified food. Everything that they're doing is killing us slowly, making us obsolete, an obsolete man. So let me read this, Matthew 24:16. So when you see standing in the holy place, where's the holy place? That's the key. Where's the holy place? Is it a building? Is it somewhere? No. We are the holy place. We are the temple. So when you see standing in the holy place, the abomination of desolation. Desolation means it cannot dwell there anymore. It can't go there. Described by the prophet Daniel, notice it says, let the reader understand. So this means it's not going to be that easy. It's let the reader understand what the prophet Daniel said about this right here. So let's go to Daniel 2:4-3. And whereas thou sawest iron mixed with miry clay, they shall mingle themselves with the seed of men, but they shall not cleave one to another, even as iron is not mixed with clay. Notice that. Something is mixing with men. So whatever's mixing is not man-made. Okay? So iron, I've said this before, followers followed me for years. Iron is technology. Clay is from God. Clay, flesh. Iron and clay. There's a kingdom coming that will not cleave together. Alright? That's the key of what's coming. You need to find out and know what is the illusion and what is real. Is the iron and clay kingdom is man merging with machine, because the machine and the technology is not from God. It's from the fallen. It's from nothing godly. It is the wrong information, good and evil being mixed together. See, some of these illusions, it's hard for people to believe them because they just can't wrap their heads around that conspiracy theories are not theories anymore. I'm going to share something with you, and then you decide, and I'll connect the dots, and you tell me if it's just a coincidence. Look up adrenochrome. Adrenochrome, ADRENOCHROME. It's an hallucinant drug suspected to have been used in Project MK Ultra. Does that sound familiar to any of you? Mind control for years and years out there. This drug is the basis of what they use for mind control. It's also hypothesized to play a role in the development of schizophrenia in adults, multiple personalities. Okay, now let me connect a dot. Did you know in 2008, Google, they rolled out Chrome, their browser, but then later, 2009, they purchased the GPU, which is the graphics processing unit, and they renamed it Adreno. So put that together. Their CPUs that they're using in their machines are the GPU, Adreno, and their browser is Chrome. Adreno Chrome. You think that's a coincidence? Mind control. Things that they recommend, things they send out to you, whatever. It's a form of mind control. Adrenochrome.
What if I told you I could offer you something that would enable you to walk again? I call it STEM, a computer chip that has the potential to change everything. It's a new, better brain. Oh my God.
I am STEM, the system operating your body for you. Can anybody else hear you? No, only you. May I point something out? In the drone surveillance footage, Sir Brantner, Marine Corps, address 414 Citrus, Newground. You'll need a plan.
I got this.
This doesn't seem like a well-thought-out plan. I need your permission to operate independently.
Permission granted!
Thank you.
Well, there you go. There is a trailer from 2018 of a movie called Upgrade. It's the same old thing repeated. A promise to live forever, but in the end, it's all about control. It's all around us, asking us to upgrade, move forward. It's keep your eyes open.
I truly believe that my God, our God, would not hide these things from us. He would make it obvious, okay? And so they are forced to make it obvious for our protection.
It's you! Yes, man cub. So nice to see you again.
Oh, go away. Leave me alone.
Let me look at you. You don't want me to look at you? Then you look at me.
No, sir. I know what you're trying to do, cop.
You do? You don't trust me.
No.
Then there's nothing I can do to help.
You want to help me?
Certainly.
Okay. So let's dedicate this to General Kelly, the Border Patrol, and the ICE agents for doing such an incredible job. Right? This was written by Al Wilson a long time ago. And I thought of it having to do with our borders and people coming in. And we know what we're going to have. We're going to have problems. We have to very, very carefully vet. We have to be smart. We have to be vigilant. So here it is, the snake. It's called the snake. On her way to work one morning, down the path along the lake, a tender-hearted woman saw a poor, half-frozen snake. His pretty-colored skin had been all frosted with the dew. "Poor thing," she cried, "I'll take you in, and I'll take care of you." The border. "Take me in, O tender woman. Take me in, for heaven's sake. Take me in, O tender woman," sighed the vicious snake. She wrapped him up all cozy in a comforter of silk and laid him by her fireside with some honey and some milk. She hurried home from work that night, and as soon as she arrived, she found that pretty snake she'd taken in had been revived. "Take me in, O tender woman. Take me in, for heaven's sake. Take me in, O tender woman," sighed that vicious snake. She clutched him to her bosom. "You're so beautiful," she cried. "But if I hadn't brought you in by now, oh heavens, you would have died." She stroked his pretty skin again and kissed him and held him tight. But instead of saying thank you, that snake gave her a vicious bite. "Take me in, O tender woman. Take me in, for heaven's sake. Take me in, O tender woman," sighed the vicious snake. "I have saved you," cried the woman, "and you've bitten me, heavens, why? You know your bite is poisonous, and now I'm going to die." "Oh, shut up, silly woman," said the reptile with a grin. "You knew damn well I was a snake before you took me in." Does that explain it, folks? Does that explain?
Trust in me.